Well, hello, fellow gamers. Welcome to another episode of Painting Happy Little Minis, where we paint miniatures for awesome games that are out there in the universe at your friendly local game store.
In the local game store, exactly.
I'm Rick.
And I'm Dave.
And we are your hosts in this amazing adventure that we call Painting Happy Little Minis.
Pretty much.
Today we are going to continue with the Stuffed Fables by Plaid Hat Games.
Yep.
The adventure storybook game, which is kind of cool.
It is. It's very cool. I think it's a really neat idea. We've got some cool pictures up there.
Look at that.
Awesome art and some of the minis. I took one of the guys home on Tuesday so that I could show my daughters and finish him up.
There you go.
So we put him on the spinner and shot him in a second. But,
there he is. Oh, there he was. He got away.
Here we go in a second.
Yes, look at that guy.
And there we go.
There he is.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Check that out.
He does have that syndrome look like we were talking about on Tuesday.
I might have enhanced that a little with some of the color choices.
Yeah, it looks so good. So is he wearing a sock on one foot and barefoot on the other?
He definitely has barefoot, and he has something on the other foot. I'm not sure whether it's supposed to be a sock or a shoe, so I tried to put it up as like a slightly dirty sock. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but whenever I see a figure that has that sort of bright, or that sort of big tuft of hair, I either think Syndrome or
Dr. Frankenstein?
That's your fault, Johnny. Entirely.
It's all right. So while we are...
Syndrome, or one or two other animated characters. I think maybe Jack Frost.
Jack Frost, yeah.
Was one of the other ones I was thinking of. So, but we went for the bright orange hair.
So I'm going to really quick share this, as we always do, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are watching and would like to share it, we won't be upset.
That would be awesome. So I'm going to grab the box, take the box out of the way so you can see a huge selection of paints there. Today I'm going to be finishing off working on all of these characters, hopefully. Oh, here we go. So we have the elephant, we have Theodora. Is that...
I believe it was Theodora, yeah.
The teddy bear. We have the pig and the lion. So we finished painting those today. I'm also going to show Rick how to do some rust effects on the crazy mongrels. Oh, back to there. Keeping you on your toes. So rust effect on the mongrels. We're going to use some Vallejo model color red leather to get in there, and a trusty large tank brush.
Just got to make sure I'm spelling words right. Me and words don't get along all the time.
E-L-A-I-D.
Oh, I got it right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So while Rick is doing the regular social media sharing and all that sort of fun stuff, get out some of that, and I will move it to under the camera. There we go. So basically the basics for this are, we've got the sort of the metal, we want some rust sort of on the underside.
Okay.
And around sort of the ribs and so on. One of the things about rust is that it's not just a plain sort of flat orange color for rust on iron or steel. It's very heavily textured because it rusts slowly in spots and flakes and rusts again, that sort of thing. So by using a large brush like this, which looks a bit ratty, I've got to do a little bit of repair work to it tonight.
Sorry.
I'm blaming Rick entirely.
It is my fault.
But yeah, so just get some of the paint. Sort of, I think the term for this is scrumbling.
Scrumbling?
If it isn't the term, it should be.
Sounds very Australian.
I don't think it's an Australian term. It's a British term.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm just going to sort of stipple this on.
Stippling.
This is stippling.
Yes.
This action is scrumbling.
Scrumbling to stipple.
To stippling, yeah.
All right.
So basically just adding that texture in there. So you can see it's starting to get that the color on there. It's a little bit different to dry brushing. Dry brushing might sort of give you some streaks along flatter surfaces, but this is the aim here is to sort of hit those flat surfaces sort of flat on.
Okay.
With the brush, or end on, I guess, with the bristles.
Right.
So there we go. Just splashing around. I mean, it's rust, so it doesn't matter sort of really too much where you get it. Sometimes it might be difficult to get in there. Yeah. But yeah, so that gives us a start. You can do that for the first, sort of on the three you've got there.
All right. Did you dilute
We'll come back.
the paint at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Using this straight out. Basically, because it is almost like that dry brushing, and I mentioned we want to get that texture.
Right.
Having a thicker paint or a drier paint is going to be more beneficial.
Okay.
If you thin it down too much, you'll get a smoother result.
Okay.
You don't really want that. You're trying to get texture.
Makes sense.
So there we go.
All right. I'll take the brush and.
How it's looking there. So it's a good start.
Yeah.
If you go through and do that with the three you've got there, we can probably use a brighter orange at the end as well. Because building up texture is also really about building up layers to give you depth. So that's cool. I'm going to go back to view and jump in.
All right.
What's the next one that I'm going to work on? Okay, who's in the chat?
You know what? We've only got Brad and Chris
Okay,
right
Brad
now.
and Chris.
Brad and Chris are joining us.
At the
Welcome, everybody.
moment.
But we have like 23, 25 people watching.
25 people watching. Who do they want to see first? The
Yeah.
elephant, the pig, the lion, or the teddy bear?
Ooh.
Which is
That's a
big
great
game.
question, everybody. The lion, the pig, the elephant, or the teddy?
And the teddy.
Which one do you want to see painted first? As dull as it sounds, how about a talk sometime on proper brush maintenance?
Oh, yep.
I probably need that lesson.
Cool.
And that's actually not I mean, probably for more advanced painters, it probably would be a little boring, but for new painters,
Yep.
you know, it's probably pretty important.
Yeah, I mean, for all painters, it's really important.
Okay.
Brush maintenance.
Old age-wise, I'm talking new,
You meant the lesson.
the lesson,
The
yes,
lesson is
yes.
important for everybody, yes.
Yeah.
I knew what you meant. I was just messing with you. So, okay. Well, let's done some blue while everybody's deciding which one gets finished first. So,
Hey, Yuri, thank you so much. Yuri just joined us. He says he loves watching us do our thing.
ooh,
We
excellent. Thank you,
appreciate
Yuri.
that. I'm going to show under the...
Oh. You got a funky close cam too?
I do now. Yeah.
Nope.
But Johnny doesn't want to help me out right now.
That's because
He's helping you out right now.
helping me out with my microphone.
Dave's shirt keeps swallowing his microphone.
It is a hungry shirt.
He says it's the shirt. It's actually my belly. Thanks.
All right. We'll take a peek under the close-up over here. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Let's switch to. Let's go on the other side. How about that?
How about that?
Cool. Looking good.
Yeah. Giving those mongrels that rusty, creepy look.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something that you can do if you're messing around with
There we go.
the rust and you've got a bit of time, you could basically build up a layer with that red leather, layer of red leather, then try a brighter orange.
A brighter orange
Yeah,
as like the
definitely.
around more of the edgings, even more on the edgings, or
Just on certain areas, it doesn't really matter.
okay.
Doesn't matter too much. I'm going to ask you to lift your arms off the table.
Yep. I realized that just now.
But, yeah, so then the brighter orange, and then you can come back with a thin brown wash. Start to tie them all back in together. And then hit it with the red leather again.
Okay.
So just continue to build up layers. Really gives some good depth.
All right.
So we've got the blue.
What kind of paints are they using? Does it actually matter? As you can tell, I'm new to this. Hey, Simone. We are using a bunch of different paints. We're using Vallejo paint. We're using Army Painter War paints. I believe there's some Game Color paints, and there might even be some Citadel paints.
Yeah, some paints from Citadel. I got a couple of paints from the Privateer Press range.
Okay.
P3, but really there are a lot of great paints designed specifically for miniature painting out there from the ranges that we've mentioned.
Yeah.
And the particular colors really are up to you. Whichever ones are your favorite. Over the years, I've sort of developed a liking for certain colors, certain
from certain brands, yeah.
Certain colors from certain brands, yeah. So
very cool. But yeah,
they're the ones that I'll be mentioning when I hold them up to the camera.
Yeah. Like Tinny Tin.
Tinny Tin, that's one of your favorites.
I just like the name.
Actually, it is one of my favorites too.
And you can find all these paints at your local game store. So, and if they aren't currently carrying them, they can absolutely order them for you if there's one particular brand you want to try. So, lots of options out there, and they all have really good coloring. And again, like you said, depending on what kind of texture or whatever you're looking for, some paints may be better than others.
Yep.
Because of the pigment level, right?
Yep. The amount of pigment in each paint is going to vary. Typically, yellows and oranges and reds have sort of less pigment in them, or less heavy pigment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why sometimes it can be tough to paint with reds and yellows and that sort of thing. You might need to do a couple of layers, a couple of thin coats. So
okay,
to build those up. Okay, it's going along pretty well. Got those in there. Oh, I didn't grab out some reds. There we go. Has anybody suggested what I should paint? Which one? I should finish off first.
Hey, peoples, what's the rust? Was that a rust monster? It's a mongrel, a little like rusted up metallic cat or dog looking character.
I think dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see if we can. It's a little blurry right now. That's okay.
Oh yeah. Yep.
There you go. Yeah.
Looking good there.
Do we have a concept art for the four-armed robot? No? Okay.
I'm sure it probably exists. I just wasn't able to find it before we went live.
Yeah, no worries.
I think it's going to look
similar?
No, I don't think.
We got a little.
I wouldn't go with the rust look, actually.
Yeah.
I'd go with something brighter. Probably paint sort of give the chest a color.
Okay. I'm going to take a look inside the book and see if there is a painted version of it in here.
Good idea. Okay.
Okay. So we flip through the playbook here, see if we can find anything. Not there. It's a good one for the rabbit. A nice one for the pig.
Yeah.
Pig kind of has that corduroy look.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we were talking about for the show on Tuesday. Is maybe looking at adding a little bit of painted texture onto the minis.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of large flat areas, so we'll try a few things that that add some texture. So knowing that the pig has the almost a sort of corduroy look, to mess around with.
Yeah, I don't see any concept art on the four-armed robot. So, but there's one for the big green gorilla.
Oh, cool! Excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
That's really neat.
All right.
Okay. So on this rattle here, I'm painting these red lines to match the art. But the cool thing is that it might look like I'm doing this all freehand, but thankfully,
He is.
no. Thankfully, there are lines etched in the
Okay.
in the rattle, so it makes it a lot easier.
Sorry.
Rick is all about shaking the table today.
Yeah, I'm the worst.
So I did notice over on the table there you got a squirrel.
I do. So I got this for Valentine's Day this year. This is my little plushy squirrel friend here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you got it? You bought it to give to somebody?
No,
Or
it was
somebody
given
bought-
to me.
Given to you? Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Crystal gave it to
I was
me.
going to say, was it Crystal?
It was Crystal.
That's lucky
Yeah.
that you aren't getting random gifts from others.
Well, I mean, if anybody wants to send me anything, I ain't going to deny them the opportunity
Sure.
to send me a gift.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was nice of her.
Have you picked out a name?
It's probably inappropriate,
Okay.
but, you know, because squirrels like nuts. So Nutty the squirrel.
Nutty the Squirrel?
Yeah.
I think that's still safe for work.
Okay. But yeah, he's a good lad. My cats are scared of it, so I think that's hilarious.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
Very cool. No, I brought in another stuffed animal as well.
I saw it, and I'm like,
What the hell is that?
yes. So because we
There
are
we go.
painting stuffed animals, let's see the stuffed animals.
Okay, so a long time ago, I used to work for Games Workshop.
Yeah.
And used to work at Games Day.
Okay.
And sort of worked on the promotions team. But one of the things we did at Games Day was the Ogre Olympics.
Okay.
And the ogres in Games Workshop's background have these little goblin-type creatures called noblars that
Okay.
sort of hang out with them. And one of the events for the for the Ogre Olympics was noblar punting. So
Okay.
I made
A noblar.
a noblar.
I love the eyes on the top of his
Yep.
up there. It looks great.
So they have this crazy big ears. And what the ogres do to sort of signify ownership is they take a bite out of the ears
Oh, my.
of the noblar. So you can see that big section there is missing. That's an ogre
Oh, nice.
right out there. But yeah, so noblar hunting, quite cool.
Now, is there anything special about the noblar if you're this particular one because it is a punting?
It is a punting noblar.
Yeah.
Well, the idea at Games Day, basically, we gave people the opportunity to punt it across the hall.
Okay.
And they get points for depending on how far it went and accrue their points and collect something later on. This particular one, I made the head detachable.
Nice.
So if the head came off as it was flying through the air, they got extra points.
Extra points.
Extra points.
Oh my lord.
So now this belongs to my daughter, Emily.
And I'm sure that particular noblar protects Emily as these little creatures are protecting their little human child.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it certainly hasn't sold her out, which is usually what the noblars would do.
Okay, that's good.
Perhaps because it's stuffed. But yeah. So I thought that was fun.
that,
Bring that in.
that does sound like a lot of fun.
Just a little goofy thing.
Yeah.
But Sorry.
So on Tuesday, we kind of talked about the Star Wars Solo movie.
Yeah.
You see the other trailers that dropped this
No.
week?
No, I did not.
Not for Star Wars.
No.
A new Deadpool trailer dropped
Oh, hang on.
featuring
I think
Cable.
I think I did see that one.
Okay. And then today, I want to say it was just a teaser for the new Venom movie featuring Tom Harding. Why did I say
Arnold?
Tom Arnold?
I immediately
Tom
regretted
Hardy.
saying it
I would
as
pay
it
to
came
see
out my
that
mouth.
movie.
But Tom Harding
I can imagine
as
Tom Arnold in a Deadpool movie, but
right.
With
I can see
Roseanne
that.
Barr as Carnage.
But yes, Tom Harding as Venom.
As Venom?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I did not see that.
And it looks pretty good based on just the trailer that dropped. It was more like I said, more like a teaser. Didn't have the full
Right.
trailer effect, but
Okay.
it still looked pretty good.
So it's like a 30-second
Yeah, something like that.
thing.
Yeah.
Right. No, I missed that. Cool. When's that Deadpool film due out?
I believe it's in May.
Okay.
And it
Everything's
looks
in May.
so good. Yeah, there's a lot of awesome coming out in May. You've got the Avengers movie,
Right.
so Deadpool, and the Star Wars movie.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blockbuster month.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, should we tell people again what we're doing as far as the Star Wars Legion stuff goes?
I don't know. Do you think they want to hear that?
Maybe.
As far as like the contest?
Well,
Or
how
as
about
far as
we
like,
start with what we're doing and when we're doing it,
I guess.
and then we'll wrap up with the contest.
All right, fine. So, starting on Tuesday next week, we'll actually start the whole painting process for Star Wars Legion by Fantasy Flight Games. So make sure you tune in. Because there was an embargo put out that we couldn't actually do any more content until the 12th, we are doing some pre-record filming. We filmed some stuff on Tuesday after we painted, and then after we get done doing our live show today, we're going to do another pre-record with Drew Carrington's going to come in.
Yep.
And
1 Inch Heroes.
from 1 Inch Heroes, and he's going to paint with Dave, and that we'll be broadcasting those the hour before our regular live broadcasts next week. So you get 2 hours of Painting Happy Little Minis on Tuesday and Thursday next week.
Yeah.
A pre-recorded hour and then a live hour. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. It'll definitely be cool. We've brought Drew in for working on the... so Tuesday we're going to be working on the Rebel Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
And Thursday we're going to start off with... we brought Drew in for the Stormtroopers.
Correct.
Because he did such a great job with the painting white when we had our speed painting competition last Halloween.
God, it's been that long.
It has been that long. Amazing.
We need to fix that
Yep.
and do another one.
Oh, another speed painting competition?
Something like that.
That can be good.
I feel like because how we did the Matt Mercer
Yep.
video, I feel like we could bring someone else in to paint with us via the Skype angle.
Okay. Cool.
And I'm thinking if we can get Terry
Ah, okay.
to Skype in with us and paint with us.
That would be cool.
If she happens to have any of the same miniatures we might want to paint at that time.
Yep. Or we could send her some.
Or we could do that.
Okay, that sounds good.
But she's in Canada, and Canada likes to put stuff on hold all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Well, you're saying their internet doesn't cross the border.
No, their internet does.
Oh, okay.
The mail itself, if we mailed her
Oh,
something,
right,
they
okay.
might hold it. Who knows? I don't know how Canada works.
We'll send it by like carrier moose or something.
Carrier moose.
Yep.
Yes. We just got to keep an eye out for all the Canadian drop bears. I hear they have them too.
Their bears are actually deadly.
Yeah, that's right. Those grizzlies and
Black
brown bears and black bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang it.
I know. But that's a great idea. Very cool. Let's talk about it more after the show.
Of course.
Okay, so that's what we're doing as far as when we're painting Star
Correct.
Wars Legion stuff. Would you like to tell the nice people about our competition?
As a matter of fact, I would. So over the next month and a half, once we get up to March 22nd, which is the drop date for Star Wars Legion,
Yep.
we'll be painting the core box set and the expansions for the first wave. And somebody watching will have an opportunity to win that entire lot of awesome.
Yep.
And if you go to the Game Trade Media page here on Facebook, which you should be there right now watching this video, but they're pinned at the top of the page is the link to the contest. So you can go there and get involved and do all the
See what you
things.
need to do.
Yeah.
So,
And then watch all the episodes so that you can see your minis potentially getting painted if you might be the one to win them,
yep.
which would be awesome.
And then afterwards, when you add more things from Wave 2 and Wave 3 and that sort of thing, you'll know the colours that we've used and the
Absolutely.
approaches we've taken. So I'm going to shift this camera just a little bit. Oh, that's me. It's all my fault. There we go. There's that piggy. Okay, so what do we think? How's that looking? Looking
I
pretty
mean,
good?
it looks all right.
Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, and now we're going to mess around with some texture. So because we talked about corduroy kind of look, I'm just going to slowly paint some lines down here. Bring it a little bit closer. There we go. Oops. And of course, the second after I move the model, the lines.
I shake the table.
Oh, don't you dare. I will punch you.
No.
Okay. So a little bit of texture there. Spin around. Do the same thing on the head. Just start at the top. I'm just going to do it in areas. I'm not going to do it over the whole thing.
Right.
But just do it in some areas that will catch the light
Okay.
and give that impression of
Leona,
the texture.
can you go to my office real quick and grab Drew and just have him come in and sit in there with you guys? Drew is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Drew's in the building. You won't see him this week. You will see him
Next week. Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Because we can't show you the stuff this week,
This week.
but we got to be on schedule to get it all done.
Yeah, we can't miss that deadline. Okay, and the week after, we will have a live guest, and that'll be Jeff Jenkins.
Jeff Jenkins.
We haven't had Jeff on the show before, but Jeff's a buddy of mine, who is a wonderful painter.
Nice.
Really wonderful details, hyper-detailed work that he does. He's going to come in and work on Vader.
Vader.
So at the same time, I'm going to be working on
Luke.
Luke.
All right. Very cool.
And Jeff is going to teach us how to do some object source lighting. So that's where you have an object that glows.
Such as a lightsaber.
Lightsaber. Things like such as.
And if you will.
Yep.
Now, as far as you said using a brighter orange on the mongrels, what would you?
I would go with this.
Game color orange.
Yeah, yep. So what's that one? That's Orange Fire?
It is orange fire.
Orange Fire.
And do the same kind of stippling?
Same kind of stippling.
Okay.
Not as much of it.
Okay.
Just pick out some sort of areas and.
Maybe even with a smaller brush.
Yeah, a smaller brush would be fine. And then I think what we'll do after all that is, once that orange dries, is we'll hit some of the top edges of the silver with some with a brighter silver.
Okay.
With the Vallejo aluminum.
Nice. Aluminium.
Aluminium. That's right. Okay, so can we see the... Yeah, we start to see that texture there. That's looking pretty nifty. So...
It does look cool.
Next. While we're working on texture, I'm going to do something else here. Pardon me. I'm going to grab some light grey here and go and attack the a little bit of basalt grey from the Vallejo model color range.
All right. You guys want to say hi to Drew?
Should we say hi to Drew?
Let's say hi to Drew. You got the camera right there, right? No, you don't. Yeah, come on in, Drew. Yeah, come in and say hi to everybody, because they're not going to be able to watch you paint today.
It'll be the magic of
Cinema. Come on around.
We're revealing. Yeah. Step around here.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Drew Carrington.
Ta-da!
There he is. Ta-da! One Inch Heroes. He'll be joining Dave for a pre-recorded episode of painting Star Wars Legion here after we're done.
Excellent.
Yes, it'll be great.
Cool. Now that you've seen Drew, now that you've had your Drew fix.
Drew fix.
Okay. So adding some extra texture as well. What I can do here is, rather than doing a sort of whole sort of lines for corduroy, is I'm just going to do like a little bit of frayed, I guess frayed fabric. Is run some lines like this, and then turn it around and perpendicular to it, run some other lines across. Yeah, like a little hash marks there. You see that? Starts to look a little bit like worn fabric. So if I do that in a few spaces around the elephant, it'll help break up that those big flat areas.
Nice. I'll put.
Adds a little bit of extra interest. There you go. How's that mongrel looking?
I think he looks okay.
Yep.
See, we'll find out what Johnny thinks when he goes to the rotator. The rotator. Yep.
Yep. There we go. What do we think?
He's looking rusty.
Yep. So you can see that all over stippling, it's got those extra, it's got that extra depth to it.
Yeah.
It feels like texture on top of the silver.
Yeah.
There. So that's really what you're looking for when you're trying to create rust. There's a lot of texture.
Seems to be making it happen.
Okay. Just one.
Nice.
Okay. I gotta pick one or two of these. Get them finished.
All right.
So close on a lot of them.
Right? See what everybody's doing over here. James is there. James says, "Hey, Drew. Almost time to go back to work." No, James, stay. Oh, wow. Carl says Drew's beard is greater than Rick's beard.
It's true.
It's true.
Can you grab me the box, please?
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure at this point that's indisputable fact.
Yeah. Well, I did shave mine. It was like down to here, and I just was like, ugh.
It was getting rather lumberjacky.
What's that?
It was getting rather lumberjacky.
It was. Yes.
Yep.
Just, you know,
You're all about-
channeling my
You're in a lumber.
roots.
All right. Yep. Your Michigan roots.
My Michigan roots. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. I paint the inside of these ears because it is a stuffed toy. So it's So the elephant ears get to be pink.
Nice.
Looks like all of the eyes are black. So
On all the stuffed creatures?
and all the stuffed animals, yep. So it's like a solid black.
Nice.
So then there.
Go blue. Michael Patrick O'Connor. Is he okay? Who? Is who okay?
Is True okay? Oops.
Was that a stuffed globular? I'll provide you an address if you want to mail it to. I'll pay you in Vegemite. It's coming from Mark Boulder. Mini Painting Studio says that they're going to be painting some Kingdom Death monsters today.
Full Kingdom Death Monster.
Those are cool.
Nice. Very cool.
That's right. If you guys want to watch
Josh
over at Mini Painting Studios, he has some really good tutorials, and you get to see some really good miniatures getting painted there as well.
Yep.
And he usually airs right after us at 3.
Yep.
And if you're not already a part of our Painting Happy Little Minis group here on Facebook, you should join up, because he usually shares it in there to be seen by the community. So
come along, join us,
yeah.
and check out all the cool stuff that Josh has been doing too. There we go. Oh.
James
Very
says
cool.
painting more zinch.
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 Yep.
That word.
You're pretty good. You did so
And
well the other week.
Building 1,000 Suns.
All right. Yep.
So
1,000 Suns are one of the original Space Marine legions,
oh, okay.
and they now in 40K they are a Chaos Legion.
Oh, okay.
So if he's painting Zinch in 1,000 Suns, there'll be lots of blue and gold. They have a very sort of Egyptian feel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they look really cool. So,
All right.
there we go. Oops. Eyes. Got the eyes painted.
Okay. There we go. All done with the orange on the mongrels.
Cool. You decided what you're going to do with the 4-armed robot?
Stare at it.
Stare at it until inspiration strikes.
Well, I'm probably going to cheat in that I'm going to look up maybe an image that might already be pre-existing.
Right. Okay. You don't have to cheat now.
Oh, I'm totally going to cheat right now. Stuffed.
Okay.
Oops.
Stuffed
Stuffed Fables.
Okay.
4-armed robot. Boom. Let's see what we got for images on that. Choices. I'm getting a bunch of mechs.
Oh.
Like non-stuffed fables.
Right. It's zeroed in on 4-armed robots.
Yeah. Like some serious battle mech action.
Right. Well, the game's only just hitting, isn't it?
Correct, yes.
So, maybe you'll haven't had enough time to get their minis painted yet.
That's ridiculous.
I
Nobody
know.
wants to hear that.
It's true. Nobody does want to hear that, but doesn't mean it ain't the case.
It's totally the case.
There we go. Okay, so meat tenderizer.
There's my inspiration.
Nice.
What do you guys think? Is that good inspiration
work
right
for
there?
Oh, there we go.
So this guy, yep, seems right.
case.
Now, would you just go with like maybe other metallic colors, like a gold or?
No, I think I'd pick out a color and probably paint the
belly.
the belly, the sort of the torso, not the straps there, but
Right.
the torso. So under here. Oh, actually, yep, there we go. So I'd paint all of this area, like pick a color, and then probably a complementary color for the head. What do you like, the head silver?
No, the head, just a block head silver just doesn't work for me either.
Right.
It's like a tesseract.
You're a tesseract.
That's true. Okay.
Yep.
Trying to think. A little rust got on them.
All right, okay.
Yeah, from my hand, I think.
That happens.
There
you go.
I'm thinking, what would be nightmarish though, in regards to this?
I don't know. What scares you the most about robots?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nope.
You love all the robots?
I'm just smarter than your average robot.
Yeah, at the moment.
What? Green? Leona says green.
Green. Okay.
That elephant came out looking good.
Hmm?
The elephant came out looking good.
The elephant? Yep. Yeah, thing's looking pretty cool too.
Top or bottom? Or both?
Oh.
Well, 'cause you
Yeah.
can put green and then put rust on top of it.
Yep.
And then it'll make it look like.
Okay.
I'd go for green on the torso. The darker green on the torso and the lighter green on
the head.
On the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
All right.
Okay, so I think with the pig I can come back and do. I'll come back and paint the
Page 85.
clay on the lid on the later, and then
Some
the
of this-
elephant I just need to do the tenderizer. Finish off the metal on the tenderizer. Pretty good there. So we'll move them forward.
Someone said page 85. Someone being Erica.
Page 85. Did you miss it?
Oh. That is it.
Give me a look.
Crawling out from under the bed.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, and look how it is. It's not at all colored.
It's silver and gold.
Silver and gold. Look. Yeah. Rick.
What do you mean, Rick? That made no sense that time.
It did. It did. I make no sense most of the time. So, yep. This one I'm just going to hit it with some sort of darker metal, gun gray in this case. Now I'm going to make it a clean tenderizer. I'm not going to put any blood or gore on it.
James is heading back to work. Have a wonderful afternoon, James.
Have a great afternoon. Thanks for stopping by. And there we go. I think what I'm going to do as well just now is jump in and paint those bases. Actually, no. I lie. Before I do that, can you pass over your that mongrel on the spinner?
I can.
Thank you. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, just to add a little bit, another sort of point of depth, is for the, I'll move those guys out of the way, and for the rusty mongrel, is along the top edges here. Just going to hit it with some, with a really light silver. In this case, it's the aluminium from the Vallejo Model Air range. It's the lightest silver that they've got. So, so you can see that's just picking that out, picking those edges out, and lifting them up a little bit. So we're just mainly going to put it on places where the rust would have been chipped off.
Okay.
By the grabbing something or biting something.
Right.
Or sort of brushing past something. Because particularly with rusty steel or rusty iron, the iron oxide flakes off really quickly.
Okay.
If it's knocked. So it reveals sort of fresh metal underneath, which will then rust again. And if it gets knocked off, you'll get that sort of cycle repeating.
All right. That makes sense.
So it's fun just to get a little bit of highlight, sort of edge highlighting done with that. So you can see that there. How does that look? What do you think?
Yeah, it looks good. I can absolutely see the edge highlights.
Yeah.
And it definitely gives it another level of depth.
Yep. It's all about creating that texture.
There you go. Thank you, Erica, by the way, for pointing that out. I would,
Oh yeah, definitely.
just flipping through real quick, I totally overlooked it. And it just shows it on its back crawling out, a bit like this, crawling out from under the bed. It's like, So you don't, if all you're seeing is, this much of it crawling out of the bed, you're not going to really notice. Yeah.
Yep. But no, very cool. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to paint the bases black on this one and the two that I finished here,
Okay.
just because I like it. It looks neat.
It does.
And there's the aluminum if you wanted to go and finish that.
I do. I'm going to use. What did you use on? What kind of brush did you use? I got my Wakasashi.
I just used my standard. This one I'm using at the moment is a medium layer brush from the Citadel range. Kind of nice sort of mid-size brush. I think if you compare it to the sizes from other ranges, it's around a 1 or a 2.
I was going to.
Well, you can try it with that if you like.
As an edging, because that's what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Give it a try. See how it goes.
Yeah.
That's the great thing with when you're working with those textures as well, is that everything's very organic. So
Can I take a look at?
Yeah, sure.
Before you start basing that one.
take a close look.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
I see why you did what you did.
everything's very organic. So trying different approaches or techniques,
Yeah.
different brushes will give a great sort of variety, which is cool. That's what you want.
So I actually am not going to use the Wakasashi by Games and Gears, but I'm going to use the detail brush by the Wargamer detail brush by Army Painter.
Cool. Of course, if you are doing basically, if you do have lots of them to do at once, going through with a large sort of flat dry brush, something like this, would be just fine as well. If you do a really light dry brush to catch those edges.
Okay, yeah.
But because we're only doing 4, it's fine to do the edge highlighting.
Yeah.
So, and I just realized, I think the pig has black. Black trotters. So I have to come back and finish those up once this black base dries.
Black trotters.
Yeah. Like socks and gloves.
Okay.
He knew where I was. I knew where he was going. So there we go. Shall we pop the? Actually, I'll just touch up the silver there, and then we can pop the elephant on the spinner.
Okay.
Just pop them over there. Watch out for the base. Oh!
The elephant always causing trouble.
Here, have my painted miniature.
Crunch. Crunch.
Nice work.
Good job, Rick.
Yeah. Winner. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, looks good.
Probably need to do some highlighting on the blue shirt, but maybe a little bit more on the grey fabric, but I think works pretty well.
Yeah.
Looking good. At the moment, that base looks pretty glossy.
Steven asks if it's the Insane Detail brush. It is not. The Insane Detail brush, I don't know if I have it up here right now, but it's like one, oh, no, I do have it, which is, yeah, like 3 or 4 hairs. Yeah, it's ridiculously.
We should talk about brush care.
What? I don't understand.
I don't know. Soon we'll do an episode on brush care. Okay. It's amazing how much more evil this teddy bear looks with black eyes.
With black eyes?
Yeah. Check that out.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. Coming for you. Okay, right there. Let's check out the lion. So the lion looks like that. Just in some black eyes there. And oop, there we go. Yeah. Angry lion.
Looks great.
Pretty cool.
The Erica says, "You're welcome. My little boy has made me look through the pictures a million times since I brought the book home."
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's cool.
The game home. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, actually, do you want to pass that mongrel back over and I'll get that black base finished? Painting the bases at the end, whether they're sort of board gaming miniatures or wargaming miniatures, just really helps tidy everything up. As you can see on these minis, there's loads of different colours that sort of ended up on there. Because we knew we were going to be tidying it up at the end, so you can be a little bit messy, throwing it around. But,
We got Hiram in the chat. Goes, "Hello, I am new to the hobby. Could you please recommend good brush brand for beginners?"
A good brush brand for beginners. A lot of sort of brush choices generally come down to sort of what you've got available locally, but the Army Painter makes a good,
really good one.
a lot of different brushes. A lot of them are really good for beginners. Once you've decided you're sort of a big fan of painting miniatures and want to take it sort of to the next step, you want to be looking for brushes that are made of Kolinsky sable, which amusingly enough is not actually sable.
Oh,
No,
they always get you.
it's a weasel. They're all from the same family, like of animals, but yeah, the Kolinsky sable part is apparently a marketing gimmick
Makes sense.
to make them sound a bit more desirable. So, but yeah, Kolinsky sable. So a lot of different companies make Kolinsky sable brushes. One of my personal favorites is Broken Toad, who are out of the UK. There is Rosemary and Co., Raphael, Schaff, Games and Gears.
Games and Gears. Yeah.
Windsor and Newton. Windsor and Newton are probably the most common / popular. The Windsor and Newton Kolinsky sable brushes, there are 2 types. There's sort of like a standard and a mini. Now you might sort of look at it and go, "Oh, mini, that must be for miniature painting." It's not. They're brushes with a shorter bristle.
Okay.
So you know how the Games and Gears bristles are fairly short
Yes.
compared to, say, show you there's my, that's a size 1, where's my size 2? Here we go. So size 2, find the right one. That's what I'm looking for. There it is. Okay, so I'm showing the close cam here. This is a size 2 broken toed brush, and the bristles are quite long. Can you grab out one of the Games and Gears?
Let's see, that's the 3. Here's the 2.
Yeah. Maybe not these ones. Maybe one of the black ones.
Black ones are the blots.
But what I have here are the, this is a size 000, so, but you can see the bristle length is shorter on the Games and Gears, a little bit longer on the Broken Toad. So depending on how sort of your painting develops and sort of which approach you like, it's going to determine sort of which bristle length you want. But generally, longer bristle length. Yep. Longer bristle length is going to give you sort of more options. But there are some spectacular painters who do amazing work with really short bristle lengths.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Jen Haley, a friend of mine, Jen Haley, does amazing work with a really short bristle.
It's in Roanoke?
No, Jen's down in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Jen works for Coolmini or Not.
Oh, okay.
Or Simon now. So, yeah, she does spectacular stuff. There we go. I'm going to put that back over there. So maybe you can put that on
the spinner. All right.
Let me check that out there.
There we go.
Okay. So, on that coil on the forearm there, we could probably do a few more sort of dings and scratches and that sort of thing. But really super simple job on there. That was just painting them silver, putting a brown wash over it. We did that on Tuesday. And then stippling with the red leather from Vallejo and stippling with the orange fire paint from Vallejo as well. And then hitting the edges with the Vallejo Model Air aluminium.
The aluminium.
Now, Dave, let me ask you this. Is that a coil or is that a soup can? Because me and Drew were talking back here and thought it kind of looks like a broken or rusty old soup can.
It does look like a rusty old soup can, doesn't it? Yeah, that could definitely be that. So I think, because all of there are 4 mongrels in the set, perhaps you create a little soup can label and wrap it around 2 of them to help differentiate them. I don't know. Give you a little bit of variety. But yeah, definitely, it does look like a soup can. Good point. I hadn't thought of that. Nice.
Yep. Well, that's an hour.
That's an hour already?
That's an hour already.
Oh, my goodness.
So there we have it, everybody. That was Stuffed Fables by Plaid Hat Games.
Yep.
You can pick it up at your friendly local game store now. It is out and about in the wild.
Yep.
It's amazing, a lot of fun.
It is.
We're going to be putting a video up here in the near future showing some other parts of that game.
Some of the other contents and the gameplay and
Absolutely.
that sort of thing. That'd be fantastic, yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited to get this onto the table and play with my daughters. See how they like it.
I think they're going to enjoy it.
I think they'll enjoy painting the crawlies. Is that what they're called? The little
babies.
mechanical...
the doll head.
I like the description where it was the mechanical hermit crabs that have found the doll head as their shell.
As their shell,
Yep.
So
there they are.
there they are, the crawly. Creepy crawly.
Creepy crawlies, for sure.
They're
be great.
Crazy. So, on that note, go to your friendly local game store, become a part of that community, find out what games are out there and what games, because you never know, when you walk through those doors, you're going to find something that fits you, because with games today, there's something for everybody.
There is.
If you like mystery, they have mystery games. You like horror, they got horror. If you like sci-fi space, they've got it. Everything's out there for every genre.
Definitely. Loads and loads of stuff to check out. We're in the golden age
Absolutely.
of gaming.
It's amazing. So in closing, this has been Painting Happy Little Minis. I'm Rick.
And I'm Dave.
And we will see you at the game store.
Thanks for watching Painting Happy Little Minis. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment below and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new content.